I remember the last time you guys were out here and we talked post-game, you sort of talked about giving up those odd man rushes that really sort of ended up crushing you guys in the end. What's the key here to avoiding that sort of repeat type of performance?
Well, I think the game plan is still the same that we were talking about before that game. Just kind of be tied to the neutral zone, not let their skill guys skate through the neutral zone too easily on us, and then come back and stop in D zone. I think that's something that we talked about. We gave it up on the last game, the first goal of the game. We are not really stopping on our spot. We're waiting for someone else to kind of take charge, and for us to kind of be just really clear in our minds, especially coming into D zone against the guys that like to come in, like to pull up, find late guys and stuff that we really sorted out, and then just keep working on our offense, keep creating stuff, and if you don't have anything, find late guys and just be creative.
How important is that when you talk about creating that offense? Not always like in a sense like relying on yourself, being like super aware of what else is around, just as you guys are trying to like find that momentum again, right?
Yeah, I think for us it's just sometimes when you try to really get something going, it's just by simplifying it. So I think that's something that last couple of games we got some goals by just putting the puck behind their net and then winning puck battles on the forecheck, and then from there kind of like finding loose pucks to the middle of the ice where we can create first and second opportunities to score goals, and to get out of a way to score more goals is not always the pretty plays and the pretty seam passes. It's just more simplify things and getting pucks to the net, getting bodies in front to kind of get those second, third opportunities.
And are you starting to see that more from this group? I think obviously like what happened against Carolina is one thing, but it really seems like it's coming along.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more of a natural thing to us now in the group where we don't just like force things. We're letting things come to us, and we're try to build something sustainable. And then you got to just do it over and over and over again, and until one point the pucks are going to start going in when you do the right things. So that's just what we try to do.
Pesce, one of the things we talked about last time you guys met really post-game was you said it was sort of unacceptable, the types of, odd man rushes you guys were giving up. How much of a focus is that for you guys, and what do you have to do to kind of prevent that from happening again, especially in critical moments of the game?
Yeah, it's huge. Talked about it this morning. They're a good team. They got skill up front, so they're going to look to capitalize on our mistakes. So I think the way we manage the neutral zone is going to be huge tonight, and obviously not giving pucks back to them for free, and getting pucks in when the time is right, and just kind of simplifying.
And you guys are kind of like match up in a similar way. You talk about their types of skills. Like they're going to try and do that to you guys too. So what is the level of like combating that on the other side of the ice?
Yeah, I think the more pressure you put on them and spend time down there, whether it's just hard rimming a puck or obviously carrying it in, it puts more stress on them, and then they don't get a chance to come and play their game. So I think the more pucks we get deep, is as crazy cliche as it says, I think it goes a long way tonight.
All right, I'll go with the cliche too, right? So one of the things we've been talking about over the last little while is simplify. If the option is not there, look for a man. Like, are you starting to see that more from this group and kind of embracing that? We've talked so much about how much offensive skill there is, but that simplification, how necessary that is for this group.
Yeah, it's huge, especially for our forward group. I know as a D, the first place you try to make it just to get into our forwards' hands. They have so much skill and speed. We have full trust in each and every one of them. So I think the quicker we do it, the more time we give them to make plays and do their thing.
How does it maybe change things going up against a team without someone like Bo Horvat playing? He's not playing.
Yeah, obviously he's a special player. He's but they have a ton of other skill. Yeah, so can't obviously take them too lightly with him out. They're still got a ton of weapons, so we've got to be ready.
Question for you about just defense. How impressive is what Matthew Schaefer is doing this season as a defenseman, as someone who's working, day in, day out with another, young, brilliant defenseman in his own right? Like, what is it like to see a player like that?
Yeah, he seems like he's going to be a generational guy for sure. 18 years old, and the fact that we're talking about him in the pre-scout is just kind of, it's crazy. He's a baby, but not many guys can skate like him and move with the puck the way he does so smoothly, and seems to make all the right plays. So definitely a factor we got to watch out for tonight.
Thank you.
Yep.
Sheldon, one of the things we talked about at the last time you guys played is just sort of giving up those odd man rushes, and in particular at critical moments of the game. What do you guys have to do to kind of combat that type of repeat situation?
Well, just be diligent with it, obviously, there's one that stands out that it ultimately cost us the game. When there's a couple others that are getting in behind us, coming out of offensive zone, which was a little more related to, the puck play and some turnovers where they got behind us pretty quick. But other than that, I thought we played a pretty good game. We got to execute on offense. Going to have to score some goals. So find our way to do that. Will be the challenge. Otherwise, I think there's a lot to like about that game that we played.
What are maybe some of those elements that you're talking about there that you really like, that should you repeat it, you could be on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had more than enough scoring opportunities, had some advantages in terms of the quality of chances that we had. We just got to execute a little bit more when we do get those looks. They're not easy to come by, and in turn we got to make it harder for them to get to our net. But a recipe and a plan for us hasn't really changed. We got to find a way to create some offense and get some stuff happening at their net and win the special teams battle.
Some of the guys were just saying that part of the game plan, you're not always planning for just one individual player, but how special a player has Matthew Schaefer become, and really what type of game plan do you have to execute around it? I know it's all just one player, but there's when you have a player like that stands out so much with a particular skill set, with that being his speed, it's something you really have to manage and be aware of when he's on the ice, and protect the good ice and all of those sorts of things, and have layers. We do talk about him. Barzal obviously is another guy that kind of can create sort of something from nothing with his speed and his creativity. So those kind of guys, you touch on for sure. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward in terms of the plan and what you want to do. But you certainly got to be aware of the game breakers. Thanks, Sheldon.